Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our speaker training and orientation for the SAME Facilities Management Workshop. This is Ann McLeod from the SAME National Office, and I'm joined with my teammate, Belle Ferraro, delivering you this helpful information regarding your role as a speaker or moderator at the FM Workshop this year. So let me first say thank you so much for joining us today, and especially for sharing your time and talent with us at the FM Workshop. So here you see a little bit about me, and you are going to be asked to also provide some fun facts of information, because this helps our audience get to know you as a person a little bit more. But in my role as Director of Meetings, Membership, and Business Development at SAME, I oversee the execution of all of our events and also membership and business development, which really kind of means sales and promotional opportunities for our members. And it's an honor to work at SAME. Belle is a senior manager of education, and she is the backbone behind all the fantastic educational content that is delivered at all of our meetings. I'm sure that some of you have worked with her in the past. If you're new, you're very familiar with her, and she and I will be continuing to support you throughout this process. So let's get to know a little bit more about you and whether you've spoken at an SAME event in the past. So let us know if you have spoken at an SAME event in person, if you've spoken at an event virtually, if you haven't had the pleasure before, so this is your first time. Maybe you're joining us because your boss told you to sit in on this and take notes and tell you what the heck to do. Or finally, what is SAME? Same. So let us know where you're at, and we will better know about you. So this is a poll that we've done, and we're going to recommend that you do some polls within your presentation so you can get to know your audience a little bit better. So it looks like we have a pretty good split of folks. We've got 36% of you who haven't spoken with us before. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope that this is going to be a great resource for you. Please do remember to ask questions throughout the presentation. We've got 27% who've spoken virtually, 26% in person, 13% who are carrying this info back to the boss. So awesome. Thank you so much to everyone for your answers and for letting us know your previous experience with us. So you are viewing this presentation right now as an attendee. This is going to look a little bit different to you when you are speaking. You're looking at the attendee view. We feel that this is helpful because it gets you to understand what an attendee is seeing, because it's different from what you will see when you are presenting the session. So let's go over a few of the tools that you can use. There is the chat tab, which allows you to interact with other folks. I see that there are some little chats in there already. If you haven't already, why don't you let us know from where you're tuning in so we can see where you are. The Q&A tab is where you can submit questions to the speakers. So the great thing about the Q&A tab is that you have the ability to vote on questions that have already been asked. So during your session, for example, someone could ask a question and another person can upvote that question, and you'll see that, some of the questions get 10, 15, 20 votes. That way the moderator knows what information, what questions are most important to the audience, and they can pose those questions first. So take a look at that Q&A tab for to submit questions of your own and to look at questions that others have already submitted. That polls tab is going to show you polls that we have asked. So if you click on polls and then closed, you will see the results of the poll that we just did. And the handouts is a copy of our presentation. So during your session, we will upload a copy of the presentation. That way attendees within the session can download your slides right then and there. Makes it super convenient for our participants. So when your session is over, folks will be automatically directed to a one-question survey about the session, basically on a scale of 1 to 5. What is your satisfaction with this session? And after the session, we will give you a report that shows you the answers to that survey. Also, it provides an attendee list. It gives you a chat transcript. It will give you a Q&A transcript. So it's very likely that there will not be enough time to get to all of the questions that were submitted in the Q&A. And if it's your prerogative, you can read those and you can reach out to an attendee who asked a question that we were unable to get to. So it's great analytics, and we hope that you will find this helpful to you after your session. So, roles and responsibilities. SAME is here to make sure that you have everything that you need and the support to make your session outstanding. 2 of our staff members will be assigned to support your session. So we will be doing things like uploading handouts, uploading videos. We are going to remind you of deadlines. Yes, you're going to hear from us a lot. We're not going to let you forget anything that you need to do. And we will serve as the producers and the technical managers of your live session. So we will worry about all the complicated stuff during your session. We will get to that in a second. You will only have to worry about certain things. We will worry about the rest. And as I mentioned, after the session is over, we will send you some session analytics. We are going to be doing a quality control on your presentations. That means reviewing them for spelling errors, typos, to make sure it looks good. And when you think about it, a screen is 1 foot from people's eyes. So errors and mistakes in presentations really show up, and people really see them. Your roles and responsibilities as speakers and moderators. So we ask that you meet all deadlines. You know, the deadlines are not random. We've been doing this for quite a while, and so we ask that you do meet all the deadlines. And of course, when you signed up to speak, you did agree that you would comply with our deadlines. So we're just reminding you of that. Please do register for the conference. As a speaker, you get free registration. That means that you can participate in other sessions, listen to them, earn PDH credits, and the only way you can do that is if you are registered. We do want to note that if you are substituting for someone else, or if you are unable to make it and someone's going to take their place, they do need to register under their own name. They can't just take your link and participate. So please do make sure that you are registered. And again, we will be nagging you about it if you don't. And you can register for the conference via the Speaker Service Center. So the Speaker Service Center really is your main tool to manage your participation. You are going to agree to the speaker terms, update your bio and photo. You can register there. We have a whole great checklist that's going to help you stay organized and on target, and all the likelihood, all of that. Belle, in just a moment, is going to give a demo of our Speaker Service Center if you haven't visited it yet. And of course, we ask that you follow all of our technical guidelines that we will be sharing. And that is of critical importance to make the session successful. And so now we're going to go on to a demo of the SSC, or Speaker Service Center. So Belle is going to do that for us right now. So I'm going to welcome her to the digital floor.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you very much. And I'm just going to share my screen. Actually, it's the wrong screen. See? Okay.
Great. Well, in the meantime, while you're getting set up, Belle, I think we'll go to a couple of the questions that we have. We've got Scott Duncan asking, do we get email addresses for attendees? Yes, Scott, great question. And in our session analytics, you do get the name and the email address of all of the people who attended your session. So yes, that is in the report that we're going to give you. So that's a great question. And then we've got another question about PowerPoints. And Lawrence, we're going to get to that when we discuss PowerPoints and presentations a little further in the presentation. Okay, so with that, over to Belle for the demo.
Oh, thanks, Anne. And welcome everybody again to joining us, and we value your time today. So hopefully you can see my screen, the right one this time. And this is on the Speaker Service Center. There's the link that you've been sent. And then you have your credentials, which you would pop in here and click on Sign In. Now, I've already registered, which Anne said, make sure you register. If you haven't registered already, you'll come to the speaker agreement, which you have to agree to in order to come to this screen. So you're now on the Speaker Service Center welcome page. Now, folks have always said, where am I though? I don't see myself listed here. Well, you won't be. Everywhere that you're listed is here. I have 2 sessions in here because obviously I'm participating in today's speaker moderator orientation training session. And then I have another session during the actual live presentations. And here is all the speakers and all the folks that are helping me to do what I need to do. Okay, so we have the speaker checklist. And this keeps you on track to knowing all the deadlines that you're supposed to be hitting. So basically by now, we're actually a little bit ahead of the time. Anne and I decided that, we want to make sure in case you have vacations scheduled and stuff, that we get the speaker training done earlier, sooner than later. So that's why we're a little bit above the curve this year, but that's all good. And so with the speaker checklist, there you go, and the speaker profile update. Now, if you've just become a speaker, you won't have your actual bio and photo in here, and this is where you'd go in to edit. If you want to edit this photo, you just click on here. I actually like this photo. It makes me look young. Actually, I am young. I am 2 years younger than I am today. And following down here, if you want to add your bio, you would just add your bio there. Then you click Save. Speaker registration. Pretty simple. Just click here. I've already registered and it's telling me that I've registered. So if you forgot you registered, you can click on here for your confirmation. Otherwise, it would have click Start. Speaker details. Very importantly, this is something new we just added to the Speaker Service Center, and it will tell you all the speakers that are speaking in your session. So for example, if you are a speaker in the Transformative Remote Sensing Technology session, you click here. And then listed myself and Sarah. We are session managers for this session. And we have Troy, Gladdy, and Nicholas. Gladdy is the moderator. Troy and Nicholas are the speakers. So I need to know, as a moderator, say I'm Gladdy and I come in, I want to know what is Troy's information. I will click View. Here, I will see Troy's information, his title, his email address, very importantly, his cell phone number, which we'll talk about the mobile numbers later on, and his bio. You can grab this bio from here and just copy and paste it. What I would suggest, moderators, is that you grab this bio and then ask Troy, how do you want to be introduced during your session? Because if I were to read this whole script out, I would have lost the audience immediately. So we want to know from Troy what he would like to be introduced as in a 2 to 3 sentence bio. And there's a lovely picture of Troy smiling there. So basically, that is a good point of entry, and also for the session managers, all the updates to all the new speakers and everyone else will be here. You can then click view and then get their information if you haven't got it already. Speaker policies. Okay, so basically it's just telling you when your final presentation is due, and also it allows you to also download the template here as well. Speaker frequently asked questions, anything you don't know the answer to, and especially dress code right now. Yes, military, we'd love you to get dressed up in your dress clothes, and civilians, yes, you have to kind of get dressed up. Even though we are virtual, you just only need to get dressed up from the top up. So, you know, the bottoms, we don't care what you're wearing, if you are. And there are the other questions down below. Speaker documents. Here we've uploaded the Big Marker platform documents. If you haven't done a virtual session with us before, there's a few tricks and tips and tricks from the Big Marker platform, how to access it, how to be on the best version of Chrome or Firefox. We'll go into those details a bit later on. Guidelines and checklists. We've added this year a show flow because we have Jill, who loves her show flow. So we've now created a show flow. We really want the moderators to fill this out. It's editable form, and so it's quite easy peasy, and it will keep us on track for this actual session. Please remember, if you are in a asset management strat and LDR track, you need to use this particular template, or if you're in the O&M track, you need to use this template. Everyone else goes and uses the generic template. Upload presentation. Okay, so we're giving you an example of how we'd like you to name the file. Please keep going on that track, because that way it keeps us organized as well as you. And then if you see a presentation's been uploaded, you will see it uploaded here. So if one of your speakers, and perhaps you haven't uploaded a presentation, if your speaker has, it will also show in this file. So you will have a formatted, you would have like 3 presentations showing if all 3 speakers have uploaded individually. So you all have access. There's also the delete option. As you can see, this has been filed as final, so I would not want to delete it. But if it was as a draft, I would probably delete it before I would then upload my final presentation. As you can see, there's no uploads here for this session, but then that's because we haven't asked for a deadline or a draft. So basically, that is the Speaker Service Center in a nutshell. So, moving on from the Speaker Service Center. So Anne went on about the responsibilities, what we're going to do for you and what we expect you to do for us. And then individually, what do moderators do for us? Or what do you need to do in your session? So beforehand, you need to coordinate with your speakers on content and flow of the session. So obviously, this should be done during the dry run. But ultimately, if you have a lot of panelists in your session, please have a quick chat with them prior to the dry run. The dry run is only scheduled for 1 hour, and we cannot go through a lot of the logistics of who's speaking when, what, how long, this, that, and the other. So please coordinate with your speakers prior to having the dry run scheduled. We did tap on the show flow document. Moderators, please, can you fill out the show flow document? It's really going to help us help you. If, for example, you lose connectivity, at least we know what's going on in the session. So with the show flow document, it will include the polls, which slide numbers the polls are going to be conducted on. It will include the presenters, what slide numbers the presenters start their presentation. So, for example, if per se, presenter 2 could not connect, you have to go to presenter 3 presentation. You have it in your show flow that it's slide 18. You could then go to the show slide navigator bar and go directly to that slide. So it really does help us keep on track with the presentation. So during the actual live session, Your responsibilities obviously would be to introduce the speakers. Hopefully we would have had their fun facts, because that's a lot of interesting items on the fun facts. And actually our audience really does enjoy learning a little bit more about our speakers. So while you do your 2-3 sentence bio, they can read up on like, what do they like to do? What are their latest interests? And so, this will really engage the audience. Make sure the session stays on time. So this obviously, if you're really bad at timekeeping, you can always ask the SME staff to keep time for you as well, which we can do. So you can ask us, say, hey, Belle, can you make sure that you send me a notification every 10 minutes? So on the session group text, we can send you a notification every 10 minutes and say when we need to keep on track. So no worries, if you're not a good timekeeper, we can help you keep on track with that. We would love that you prepare some pre-prepared questions for the Q&A to kickstart it. So we will upload those for you prior to the session beginning. Again, those will be entered into your show flow document. So we've just said ways of you to be thinking on your feet. So this is how we need to think. If we lose a speaker, we need to be able to figure out how we're going to cover that over. Like, for example, at JTC, we had 4 speakers. The first 3 we couldn't connect. So we finally got the Marines in, but it was hairy. So luckily enough, we were kind of like expecting something to happen. So that's where the moderator was really chill and we're just saying, okay, let's go with it. Let's see what we can do here. So just don't panic. Don't worry about it. We have it under control with you. You're not alone. And speakers, obviously, if you have a better plan B, please help us out. So speakers, obviously, we want your presentation, yes, and we want it to be as well quality checked as possible. And keep in contact with your moderator and SME staff support. Do not ignore us. We will not go away. If you are delayed with your presentation and you're delayed with your presentation, silence doesn't help. So we will keep on pestering you. Just let us know, hey, Belle, I'm on a deadline right now and I cannot get this presentation to you. My dry run's not scheduled until the 23rd of July. I can get it to you 23rd of July morning. We know, at least we've stopped pestering you and you know that we understand the situation and we are here to support you. So just keep us in the loop. During the session, we just want you to just share your SME information with our audience. Basically, they're here for you. They're not here for the moderators. They're not here for the SME support staff. So they want to come to buy a ticket to see you. And we need to make you shine on that stage. All we want from you is to have a smiley face when you're on camera and advance your slides. Okay, so we kind of touched on the presentation QC. So basically, yes, it's 16:9 format. I mean, who has a 4:3 screen? Nobody, okay? So government guys, if you're on this call right now, please ditch the 4:3 slide deck. Burn it. Do whatever you have to do. We do not want to see a 4:3 slide deck. We do have specific industry slide decks for you guys, and we just went over which ones you need to use. Please do so and use those ones specifically because they are, some of them are, we have 2 sponsored tracks and, we really need to lay out for our sponsors because they help us keep putting these presentations on for you guys. If you have multiple speakers, we will merge those session decks for you. If you have a moderator who would like to do that, you can also do that. Moderators, if you want to just present one slide deck, you want to go through your own QC, you can do that. Otherwise, we will do it for you. But we would only know the order they need to be merged in after the dry run. So make sure that we don't change. And if you have any last minute changes, say that speaker 3 is now speaker 2, please let us know because we will merge these slide decks for you. We do convert them to a PDF because of the platform that we are working with. Big Market does prefer the PDF version. If you have any animations and it's really crucial for your presentation, please let us know and we will do a workaround. We have figured out a way how to turn a PPT into animations in a PDF. It does take a lot of work, so let us know if it's really crucial for your plan. We will upload both presentations during the dry run and see which works best. So talking of polls, if we had a session today, my poll would be about who do you think is going to win the European Cup? I don't know if you guys have been watching the football or the soccer going on right now, but England beat Germany 2-0. Yay! So I would definitely have a poll on that. But I think that would be your like icebreaker poll. But obviously during FMW, it's going to be the Olympics. So really start thinking about your fun polls that you're going to interact with the audience during the FM during July. So everything else is there. We will deploy your polls for you, so don't worry about that. All we ask is that you toggle over to the poll, as Anne said, so that you can speak through the poll, as you could witness Anne was speaking through the poll, so you can understand how the responses are. Do not keep silent. People will think you've lost your audio. Okay, talking of polls, let's launch another one. And this is one that we've really found to be really great during all of our virtual presentations. And it really helps us to keep knowledge of who is on the audience and who's joining us today. So with that, are we launching the poll?
Yes, Belle, I have launched the poll.
Perfect. So I can see that, oh, okay. So small businesses up against the same support, SME support team. Large businesses, small businesses. Oh, wow. So we have really a good mix, Anne, on today's call. And we do have a couple of folks from civilian government agencies. So that's good to know as we close this poll down. Okay, so videos. Videos are fabulous during your virtual presentation. It really keeps the audience captivated. They move away from, not to say boring slides, but you know how it can get PowerPoint over PowerPoint, like we're so done with it. So, you know, adding a video would be really interactive. We do have one video as an opening video and a closing video. So if you have a video, we will pop that in for you. We would like it to be in MP4 format, but it does accept the link to the YouTube. So you can add that link in there and we would upload that for you. So we would prefer that you mute yourself during the video, but we do have the options to mute you. But if you are going to be speaking over the video, please let us know so we know in advance to unmute you before your video starts. Okay, so a few more bits and bobs to add about your presentations. Please, if you need to have a sanctified presentation for upload, let us know, and so we will upload that one for our audience. If it really needs to be sanitized, otherwise don't worry about it. We'll just upload what you've given us. And also, if you do not want the attendees to access your recording, you need to let us know because it will be published. And it is kind of unfair for our audience to think that they, you know, put in your session on hold because, oh, hey, I want to watch this session, that I really have the time to do it. I don't have the time to do it right now live, but I really want to watch it as a recording. It's so disappointing for them to go back and realize that it's not available for them to view. So please, if you really can't, then we understand, but we prefer that you don't. Okay, so the dry run. Our SME support staff will be reaching out to you if they haven't already. And actually, you know, we wanted to do this early, this training, so that you guys know what to expect from us. So the SME support team will be reaching out to you either today, tomorrow, and to schedule these dry runs from July 14th through to July 23rd. So please be flexible with your calendars. We really hope that we can get these scheduled as quickly as possible. Yes, we will need your draft presentation for the actual dry run. There is no dry run without an actual draft presentation. We'd also need all your finalized all your ideas on how you really want the session to go. We can't be willy-nilly and say, oh, well, I'm thinking I might speak for like 10 minutes and then maybe Joe Blow can speak for, what do you think, Joe? You want to do 20? No, in the dry run, we really have to have nailed down what the goal of the session is and at what time everyone is going to be speaking for. As you can see, the rest of that is good to go. Okay, so I think by now, if you haven't figured out the virtual platform and how to accommodate yourself, then I don't know where you've been. So right now, I think everyone should have a strong Wi-Fi, right? So we all understand that you've got to ditch your VPN because the VPN can really screw up a lot of issues with your camera, your mic, etc. So make sure that you do follow these guidelines that we're giving you. Yes, we do require the latest version of Firefox or Chrome. And government, yes, I know that you don't necessarily always have the current version. It does take other versions, but just see how it goes in the dry run. If you really can't engage, we will have to do a workaround, and unfortunately, it might revert in just dialing in, which we prefer not to. So we really have to figure out if it means to have 3 dry runs to figure out how we can get you connected. We will do that for you. And lastly, and I love Anne's analogy because it all came from one of our colleagues, and Kelly, I'm going to throw you on under the bus here, that her remote control, her everything went down, her wireless keyboard, mouse, whatever. So she got the batteries out of her remote control from her television. So like, guys, I always, before a conference, replace the batteries, because the worst thing is if you can't move your mouse and you're moving your slides. So that is really hairy. If it does happen to you, don't worry about it. Just say, hey, Belle, next slide, or whatever we want to do, or use the title header or whatever it is, so we know you're having an issue. So no worries. That is what text is about. That is why, we can always be there to support you. But if you can, don't let it go down without battery. Come on. Okay, with that said, do we have any questions, Anne? Because I'm sure I've been speaking so much right now.
Yes, we do have some questions. So we have a great question from Craig, who is asking, do I need to upload a draft no later than July 14th and then again 24 hours prior to my dry run? Or can I just upload once, no less than 24 hours prior to the dry run?
Oh, Craig, I love you, baby. Okay, so I'm assuming that your upload on the July 14th would not be your real draft. So, if we really want, of course it makes sense. 24 hours prior, what are we going to do with it on July 14th if your dry run isn't scheduled until July 22nd? We're really not going to do anything with it. So guys, these are just guidelines. We say July 14th for the draft is because that's when the dry runs start. But we really would like it just 24 hours prior to your dry runs. That is it. We're not going to make you upload it once just to make sure it's in there and then upload it again. No. We just want you to make sure we have it for the dry run. So Craig, no worries there. You're all good to go whenever you need to upload it before your dry run. But make sure you do get back to the session managers to schedule one.
Okay, Lawrence is asking also about deadlines, and he will be on vacation for a certain period of time, and he plans to upload his PowerPoint before he goes, but cannot modify until after he returns. So, Lawrence, what I would say to you is communicate with your moderator and with your staff support that is your schedule, and as long as they know that that's what's going on with you, we're all good. Would you agree, Belle?
No, absolutely. We're totally flexible. This is what it's about. Communication, and that's key to it all.
Yes, absolutely. So let's see here. Lawrence also, Lawrence, we love that you're asking all of these questions. This is exactly why we are having this training and orientation today. So Lawrence, also, this is a great question. the email from SAME says my session runs from 11 a.m. until noon. I see there are 3 other people in my session. Is 11 to noon for my presentation, or do I have only 25% of that time?
Oh, I love the way you think, Lawrence. Okay, so the 3 other people we've added in is to accommodate you, is to make you shine. So 2 of those people are your SME support staff, and the other person is your moderator. So basically, you still have 100% of the time. I mean, obviously taking consideration the Q&A, the intros and everything else, but the session's all about you, Lawrence. It's not about anyone else. So basically, we're here just to support you, and that's all it's about. And when it says 11 a.m. to noon, we will talk about this, and we're covering it a bit later on, that we would hope that you can access the session 60 minutes prior, at least 45 minutes prior. So if you're available, should be 10:15 a.m. through to noon. So just keep that in mind when you're scheduling that day.
I do want to just clarify something, though, based on your answer, Belle. So when you see in your session the list of others who are in your session, you need to pay attention to their role. So if there's other people with the role of speaker, that means that, yes, all of you are speaking within 1 hour. So Belle basically has every single session memorized, so she knows in the back of her mind that, Lawrence, for your session, you're the only speaker. But in other sessions, there are multiple speakers. So when you look at that thing in the Speaker Service Center and you see session manager, okay, that's the SAME support team. You see someone's a moderator, they're not speaking. If you see other people that have a role of speaker, then that would mean, yes, all of the people have within 1 hour, everyone needs to speak.
Right, exactly, Anne. And Lawrence, just to let you know, your moderator, Jim Wick, is on this session right now. So maybe you can coordinate with Jim. Jim, reach out to Lawrence because you both have a question, one above the
other. Okay, so let's see here. We have a question from Gladdy, which is, if we experience unstable internet, do you recommend resorting to audio only, go off video to preserve connection? Yes, that is helpful. A lot of times, Gladdy, if you've got an unstable internet connection, to turn your camera off because it does take less bandwidth. So great question. And during the dry run is a time for us to do a technical check. So we will uncover, hopefully, if someone has unstable internet, where they are. And then prior to the session, this is why we ask that you get on a little bit earlier, which we're going to get to. And we can go through all of those types of recommendations. So let's see what else we've got here, and then we will move on.
Actually, I've got one from Eric. Sorry, Anne, but Eric Turner about the chat room. I think he's talking about the discussion chats, which is a really cool question because we haven't mentioned it yet. The post-session discussion chat. So, Eric, I know you participated in JTC. We did have the post-session discussion chat, but unfortunately, it wasn't well attended, and we don't feel that we want to take the time away from our speakers to attend these discussion chats when really they're not attended by any of the audience. So we're not going to entertain that this time. So perhaps we can keep the discussion going on the virtual session until they shut us down. So hopefully that answered your question there.
Yes. Okay. So I was going to go to a question from Brett, asking if we said that speakers and moderators are free to attend all other sessions. Yes, Brett. So as a speaker, as a moderator, all of you have access to all of the content within the FM workshop. So if you're speaking on Wednesday from 1 to 2, you can participate in all other sessions. You are considered a full conference attendee. You can listen to the recordings. You can participate in all of the other sessions. So that is a way that we give it back to you for sharing your expertise. Okay, so one more question, and then I think we'll move on. And Lawrence is asking about the PowerPoint template. Yes, the PowerPoint template is in the Speaker Service Center. You can download it from there. I think Jim was saying that he was having a problem downloading files from the Speaker Service Center. So Jim, what I'm going to recommend there is when your SAME support team reaches out to you, they can help you with that to see what's going on. And if you're unable to download, they can just email it to you. So, okay, I think we'll go back to our slides now, and we can take some more questions as they rise.
Thanks, Anne. So, what to expect and what expected. So basically, we kind of covered this a little bit. We ask that you upload your final presentation 48 hours prior to the session. Now, we're asking for the deadline to be July 22nd. And as you know, the sessions don't start till later in the following week. So we're giving you a little bit of leeway. Reason why we're asking for July 22nd is because we would like to have enough time to do a QC, to combine the presentations if we have to really make sure they look superb for our audience and to make you look great. So we are asking for the presentations for July 22nd. If you can't hit that deadline, please hit the deadline of 48 hours. That's 2 days prior to your actual live session. If you are going to be late, please let our session managers know so we don't panic. So you do have the capability to log in to your live session 60 minutes prior, but we ask at least 45 minutes. You might have had a really smooth dry run and you had no connectivity issues. Don't trust the technology gods. They can let you down. Suddenly you're like, poof, what happened? So make sure that we're all calm and collected, that you get on the session enough time so we know that we have no issues with your connectivity. If you get on a little bit earlier, we will have time to knock out any of those cakes. Okay, so when we get on those 45 minutes in it, what are we going to do? We're going to refamiliarize you with everything we did in the dry run. But most importantly, we're going to go through that slide deck and make sure it is up to your liking. Is there everything in there that you sent us? Have we got it right? Did we get the speakers in the right order? Does everything, did that graph suddenly go ski-whiff? So we have to make these little fixes. We're going to do that for you as soon as you get on. So if you don't get on until 5 minutes beforehand, we can't talk to you. So we will text your group and just say, hey, it's us. And if you have any technical difficulties, this is a good way to communicate. And also, if your camera froze, we can let you know, because you don't know. You don't know it's frozen, right? How many times have you been caught in that stare and everyone's like, oh my God. So anyway, we would let you know. We can communicate also via the presenter chat. But it's hard when you're actually working in your slides and looking at your slides and moving the slides and everything else to look at the presenter chat, unless you have that window open. It's easier if you suddenly see a beep or something happen on your phone to access it. So you have to ask, yes, you can attend all the sessions and even all the recordings of the sessions and get all the 24 PDH credits that are accessible. Actually, this year, even the opening, closing, and the fireside chat sessions have a PDH attached to them. So there's more PDHs this time accessible to all the sessions. And you have to go through a different way to actually access these sessions. You have to go through the live event platform, which Anne will show you a bit later on. Okay, so before you go to connect your session, before you get happy on that calendar link and click it, make sure you've disconnected from your VPN. Clear any cache. And then you go and click on your little big marker platform link that you got today. That you'll get a different one, obviously, for your dry run, and you'll have another different one for your live session, but they kind of look the same. So anyway, you just click on that little link, and then you'd follow the systems check and you update your profile. Hey, bingo, you're in. We're going to go through that in a little bit Okay, so what are the best things to be able to do, and what do you need to know? So obviously we've talked about this. We want to share your mobile number so we can create that group text. And I think that Brett's on this call today, and he can tell you how important it is that we can actually utilize these numbers and actually share that information. Yes, we've just said that you can get on to it 60 minutes prior to your session starts. Please try to do that, or at least 45 minutes. So basically, I've said everything that's on this slide. But apart from the fact that we have a whopping 135 individuals registered for FMW at this point. But don't be dismayed, because these numbers mean nothing. This is a virtual platform. They will whoop up before you know it. Okay, so any more questions, Anne?
Yes, we have a question from Nitin, and hopefully I pronounced your name right. And actually, along those lines, during the dry run, make sure your moderator knows how to say your name correctly. So that's always something good to cover. Anyway, the question is, will our polls be entered electronically and be run by the moderator? Great question.
Yes, so that is a very, very good question. And that is why we've added 3 people to your session, Lawrence. So the SME staff will upload your polls for you prior to your live session begins. Your SME staff will launch your polls for you. And it's between you and the moderator who will actually speak to the poll. So as the poll came up, as you could see, we would normally speak to the poll, talk about the poll, toggle over to the open poll and view the results to the audience, and then we'll close the poll. So basically, you wouldn't have to do anything with your poll and only but talk to it and toggle over and see the open. If you prefer the moderator does the polls, then obviously that's between the 2 of you. It is up to you how you want to run that. But basically, we will take care of the logistic stuff. All you have to worry about is just talking to it.
Yes, and that's it for our questions right now.
Perfect. Moving swiftly along. Okay, so the big marker orientation. This is where the sessions are going to be executed. I think all of you kind of know by now the big marker platform is pretty easy. And so basically, all we need you to handle is to make sure that you have a really good internet, disconnect from the VPN. I mean, obviously, we keep on repeating ourselves. So it's because we've seen it happen time and time again that folks just don't get that they're on VPN. You're on VPN. Yes, you're connected in your office. You're on VPN. You need to make sure you have the recent version. We can't say it enough, but basically all you need to handle is make sure that your camera's on, your camera's off, your mic's on, the mic's off, and you know how to move the slides. So basically that's it. So moving on from that, we're going to show you what to do. So once you click on your little link, you'll be taken to this screen up here. It will go through the systems check for you. While it does the systems check, you scroll down the page. It will ask you to complete your presenter profile. You click on this little button here, which is edit. This pops up this little box. And there you can add your icon or your photo icon. If you don't want people to know you as, like I can see now, there's a Jennifer Walls, and it just comes up as an orange J. If you want folks to see your little photo, that's where you're going to add it in. So don't rush. When you click on your link, wait while it passes the systems check, scroll down, add the profile. This is a step that folks often forget to do, but it really is a nice way for folks to see your face in there if they haven't seen you already. Okay, so once you've done that, this other screen pops up and asks you how you'd like to join. So you can either click on join by phone and just jot down the itemized number for you. It's individualized and it's just your number only. We don't have access to that number, so please jot that down. Once you drop that down, you just escape out and then join by computer. This screen then pops up. You then want to toggle on the microphone and toggle on the webcam. Now, there is an idea. There is a quality, filters, and background. We do not allow anyone to use the background. Please do not use the black background. Otherwise, we will ask you to take it away. Yes, you're going to have to clean up your background in your office or wherever you are doing your live session, because we do not allow backgrounds. There is, however, filters, and I like the third one. As I always say, it makes me look less wrinkly. Nowadays, I haven't had access to any Botox, so that is the closest I get to it. So moving on, you enter into your session. You can click on the microphone and click it off, or you can click on your camera and click it off up here. And a grey navigation bar appears on the bottom here, and this is where you advance your slides. Anything to the left-hand side of this, which you can't see right now, you do not touch. You cannot play with any of the other toys. This is the only toys we allow you to play with on, and advanced slides. Okay, more questions. Do we have any more questions, Anne?
We have a question from Jennifer, who is asking, do handouts have to be uploaded at the same time we upload our presentation draft? So I'm assuming that this would mean if you have a separate something that you want to provide to our attendees other than your slides, when should those be shared? That's what I'm assuming she means.
Yeah.
So Belle, would you like to take that one?
Yeah, I think that makes sense, Jennifer. I think that I would just upload any or all handouts when you upload your final presentations, because you may have decided to dish a few or to add something to it after your dry run. So I would definitely just upload your handouts and label them as handouts so that we know which ones to upload to the session.
Great. That's it for our questions at this time.
Well, with that said, Anne, I've done enough speaking for today, so I'm going to hand the floor back to you.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I am going to share with all of you a little demo of our live event platform. Again, to speak in your session, you are going to follow a link that is provided by your SAME staff report in a calendar invite. This is our live event platform that allows you to interact with the FM workshop. There is a way to enter your session within the live event platform, and we can show you that as well. So you're going to log in to the live event platform using your credentials from your registration. So if you haven't registered yourself, you will not be able to enter our live event platform. So here we are in the lobby of the platform. This is a very fancy digital convention center here. And you can see across the top, we have a number of menu items, and there are also some over here on the left. So clicking on these here on the left or up at the top are going to get you where you need to go. So we're going to start with the expo hall. This is where our exhibitors' information is seen. So you can see these great companies here. I'm going to click on the SAME booth, and I can come here. You can find out more information about the exhibiting company from this top menu. As things are uploaded, you will see more information. And below the booth, you can see a few things as well. The eBag allows you to save, basically bookmark the exhibiting company. If the exhibitor has some documents, you can put those documents into your eBag, which allows you to download those items later. Contacts will show you all the names of the individual representatives from that company who are registered, which can be really helpful. And then we have the exhibitor chat, which opens our chat portal. So you can send a message to the exhibitor. Maybe you're interested in speaking more to them about something. And that is the exhibitor chat. So don't forget to check out all of our exhibitors. Without them, this conference wouldn't be possible. It wouldn't be possible for us to give you free registration and the like. So the education and activity portal is really where you, our attendees, and you can get connected with all of the sessions that are taking place. So as you can see on the left side, it does list everything by date. And then it has the title of the session. You can click on that and it gives you more information about the session on the right-hand side, including the names of the speakers. So, for example, if I click on my name here, it gives you my photo that I've uploaded. It shows you all of the things that I am participating in. If I had uploaded a bio, it would show it. I haven't, so it doesn't appear there. So this is why it's crucial for you to upload the stuff in the Speaker Service Center. So again, back to the left-hand side, you can add sessions to your agenda. So if you want to peruse these things to make it easier later on for you to participate in, you can do that. And that is the education and activity portal. You can see that just clicking on that takes you to the entire schedule. You can search by track only. So if you just click on operations and maintenance, it's going to show you only those sessions in that track and all of that great stuff. So when attendees are looking to join a session, they would come here. There's basically a button that shows up that would say join webinar, and that's how they enter. Pretty simple. I'm going to skip over the networking portal for a moment. I'm going to go to the game room. This is where we've got some challenges for folks to earn points and prizes. They can see what's going on in the game room. The e-bag is where you can download anything that you have saved or visit the see the list of exhibitors that you have bookmarked. So that is there in the e-bag. The help desk is pretty clear. It's a help desk. That's where you can get questions answered. If you need assistance, come here, check out the resources, and that will allow you to take a maximum advantage of everything. So under networking portal, first you see my agenda. So if you've added anything to my agenda, and this is still being built, so you see that there is nothing there. And then networking portal is where people can come and do a few things. The conference certificate will give a transcript of all of the sessions in which a person has participated. You do get PDH credit for listening to recordings. So we don't recommend that you, download this after the first day if you plan to participate in other things. Just wait till the end. It is a transcript, so it will list every single session that you've participated in, the number of credits, and it adds up. This virtual platform will be open through the end of September, so everyone has got 60 days to interact with all of our education activities and get those credits. Keyword search is just that, a search that you can find anything related to a person or a company or a topic. So I always type in, let's see, well, that didn't work. Let's put in Brett's name. Well, that didn't work either. So we're still under construction here, but if you, let's put McLeod. So I typed in my name and you can see it's populated here. I've registered, so it found me. So this is a great way to be able to find people, companies that you are looking for. The chat and discussion groups opens up our unified communications portal. Think of this as Slack or Teams for the FM workshop. So this is where you can have private chats with other attendees. You can chat with exhibitors. So you can see here in the top left, we've got exhibitor booths. If we click on the plus sign, it will show the list of exhibiting companies. I can click join in order to go to that exhibiting company's public chat and send them a message. Private chat is where you can search for other people. So let's type in the name John, see if anyone with the name of John is registered. Here we go. So I typed in John and you can see that I've got a number of responses and this is perfect. You see Jason is here. Why was he found? His company name is Johnson Controls. You see John here, of course, because his first name is John. You see Maureen Allison because she works for Johnson & Johnson, so it found her. So this is how you can search for someone. And if I wanted to send a private chat to John Fraser, who happens to be my colleague, I can click on this chat icon. And it is going to open my chat window with him. And then I can send a message to him in the system. So that is our great communication portal. We will be building this further to have some discussion groups, which are topic-based chats on certain items. You see up here, there's a little notification bell. So if you come to this and people have sent you messages, it will show that to you. When you go back to the networking portal, if folks have sent you a message since the last time you were in the unified communications, it will appear here. I do want to mention there is no sound or chime that goes off to let you know if someone has sent you a chat. So we really recommend during the FM workshop, if you've got two screens, keep this screen, this on one screen, and then keep the unified communications on another screen. And then you won't miss anything at all. And so that is the quick demo of our live event platform. So let's go back and see if we've got any questions.
You've gone quiet, Anne. I don't see any questions. I think that we've answered them all.
Wonderful. All right, great. So seeing that, we have put a list of other common questions, and some of these haven't come up before. Some of them we've just covered naturally during our conversation here today. Many people ask where they can find the presentation. So as we discussed, in the Handouts tab during the live session, we will post the copy of the slides there. It will also be in the live event platform. In that networking portal, there will be a menu item called resources. And that is also where we will plan to put a copy of all the slides from the presentation. The recordings are found in the live event platform, VEM. We refer to it as so many different things. In that education and activity portal, there will be a little button that says on demand, and that's how you listen to the recordings. That platform will be open through September 30th. So you have 60 days to listen to all of the recordings from other sessions. Hey, maybe you want to listen to a recording of your own session to see how did I really do and learn about your speaking style. And if you speak a lot, that can be super helpful. And we did go over the PDH transcript. So, all in all, we do want to say we truly care about your experience. We are here to help you. Again, 2 of our SAME staff are supporting your session. Please do think of them as your first, your go-to people. They have been duly trained. Many of our team have gone through this multiple times. I mean, more times than anybody has ever wanted to. So, believe us, they have a lot more information about this than they probably ever thought they wanted or needed, but you can go to them for any help that you need. Email us, call us. We do have the chat widget also on our website that you can turn to for help. Look in the Speaker Service Center. We've got so many resources there on our website, everywhere. I think there is no lack of information. So, seeing that and all of this information, let's find out now how you feel about executing your role and responsibilities as a speaker or moderator. So, let us know. Are you excited? Do you feel you've got this? Maybe I've got this if the technology gods are on your side. Are you nervous? You need to actually read the emails. Maybe you still need to log into the Speaker Service Center. Or last option, you're not even the one speaking, but you're going to relay it to the boss and hope that they understand. So, where are we at? We've got half of our folks saying that they've got this. Well, that is awesome. Thank you so much. And then we're up next is 38% saying, hopefully the technology gods are on your side. We hope so too. A few people who are nervous, a few people who are going to relay the info to your boss. So awesome. We are recording this so you can listen to this again. And of course, you've got your SAME staff support who are here to make sure you're comfortable. The great thing is, we've got 3 full weeks after this to make sure everything is great. Take advantage of that dry run. Hopefully, there is no reason that you're going to feel nervous after the dry run has been executed. So let's see if anyone's got any last questions. And I do want to say on behalf of SAME, we do truly thank all of you for sharing your time and expertise. Obviously, there is no conference without this very valuable educational content that you are providing. So we truly appreciate all your expertise. So any questions, Belle?
I'm going to turn my camera on so they know that we're not just like these robots behind the screen. And then turn the slides. Why is this not working? See, different. Okay, there we go. Okie dokie. So I think we've got this right, guys. Like everything's working the way it should. I think that once we get these dry runs together, a lot of this will all make sense. And just put in the time and effort, and really, you will pan out. Just read what you need to read. I know it's boring, but I think that if you read what you need to read, you'll be really relaxed during your live session and really feel that you're ready and prepared to go. So anything lastly you'd like to say, Anne?
No, there isn't, but we've got a great question from Eugene who asks, will we know in advance how many may be attending our session? Well, Jean, no, not really. We do ask people to add sessions to their agenda, but we don't really have a good access to that number. So after the session, your session, your SAME support team can tell how many people are on the session, but in advance, we don't know that. So sorry about that.
So I think we're good to go. I think we could let these guys go. So definitely looking forward to this. I believe this should be our last virtual conference, apart from obviously the post leaders conference, which is in August. But this is our officially last virtual conference, unless something else happens. So yay to virtual, yay to the last time, and yay to meeting you all in person for the Small Business Conference, which we cannot wait for, which is November 14th through 16th. Is that right, Anne?
No, it is 17th through 19th.
There you go. So very excited about that. Very, very excited.
Yes, but we're very excited about the FM workshop as well.
Absolutely. We're all excited about virtual. Absolutely. But I'm just saying that we will get to see you in person soon. So, yes, hang in there with us. We're going to have a great event. And thank you for all the hard work you've put in thus far and will do for us. And hopefully you have any questions, please reach out to the session managers. Sessions@same.org is always there available for you. Any personal questions, you can reach out to Anne or myself. Please, we really value you, and thank you again for making this a fantastic conference, because we can't without you. So thanks.
Absolutely. Well, have a great afternoon, everyone, and we'll see you on the digital floor.
Bye now.